Cigarette smoking. You've heard me talk about that many, many, many times. I've always told people to quit. It's bad for you. I quit 7 years ago. One of the best things I ever did. But let me tell you one major reason why you should quit. And the first thing you're going to think is, oh, it's bad for my health. No. Well, kind of. Cigarette smoke smells horrible. I can't even describe how horrible that smell is. When I walk through the grocery store, I can tell if a person smokes from an aisle away. I can smell them. That's not a lie. I'm not making that up. And that's without them smoking. Now, when I come outside, because everybody smokes in Tennessee, I would say 90%. I mean, it's high. Where when you get further up into the north, less and less people smoke. But as you get further into the south, more people smoke. Everybody's got a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. Even though they've told them thousands and thousands of times it's horrible for their health. So, why should you quit? You know, I've made videos on how cigarette smoking creates pain. I've made cigarettes on what it does to you. And I've sent you to doctors talking about it. But I'm going to give you one that is very, very important. And I'm going to give you a scenario. You're standing in a Walmart parking lot, shit hit the fan, and an EMP or something has gone off. Your vehicle does not work. You feel confident. You say, hey, no problem, I've been ready for this. You open your back door, you pull out your get home bag, and you look around your truck for anything else you need to put in your pocket or your car, and you say, okay, I'm ready to go. And now it becomes your mission to get back to your preps. Now, if you're 2 hours away, it may take you 12 hours to walk home. Being in shape definitely will make that easier. You may not be able to walk down the road and be as easy as you think it is. There was one time I was drinking in this bar, and we were in a campground, and we'd gotten together with a bunch of people, and I never drove my vehicle. I don't believe in drinking and driving. So we're at this bar, we're getting pretty looped, and now when we had to come home, our ride was gone. It was no longer to be found. I don't know if the guy met a chick, I don't know, but he wasn't there. So me and another guy started walking back to this campground, and there was turns that we had walked around where the road had slanted. I never seen anything like this, and you have no idea how hard that was on my ankles trying to walk around those curves. They slanted the road to go around the curve. I was like, why did they do this? Well, obviously, it meant you could bank it a little easier with a vehicle, but it wasn't very nice for walking on. So having a good pair of boots or a good pair of shoes in your vehicle for when this goes down is important. But let's come back to the smoking. So you've decided to light a cigarette, you're walking down the road, you're stressed out, you're thinking about everything you got to do, you're saying, I might have to set up camp soon. If there's any water, I need to filter it. You're running all this through your brain while you're having that cigarette. Life's good, you're pretty healthy, you don't, you know. But one thing you didn't consider the red heater on that cigarette, and you didn't consider the smell of that cigarette. When somebody lights a cigarette, I can smell it a long ways away. You've just given away your position. I don't care if you're walking in the wilderness. I don't care if you walked off the road. I don't care if you're walking off trail. If the wind's going the right direction, you just gave your position away. And I know you're there. You do not know I'm there. Think about that. And I know shit hit the fan too. Do I ignore you and walk around? Or does a person take you out? And if the person chooses to take you out, your cigarette just got you killed. Because now they could see the red heater if it was nighttime. Now they could smell you and zero in on your location. Because you wanted that cigarette so bad. You had everything else down pat. You had a great get home bag. You had everything you needed to get your life back to where your preps were. So now that you've been taken out and you didn't make it home, this guy, this marauder, has decided to now search your bag and search your wallet. And he finds out, oh, look, this is where this guy lives. This is where I need to go. Because one look, after he took a look at you, he's seen that pack, he's seen everything, he says, oh, this guy's a prepper. This guy's been working for a while. Look at the equipment he's got. He's going to go back, talk to a couple of buddies, he's going to say, hey, I got a place we can hit. I took this guy out because he was too stupid and he was smoking through the bush and I smelled him a mile away, that I'm sure if we go to this address, we're going to get a bunch of food. And now they're going to proceed to go there. Basically, you just killed your wife and kids because of you wanting that cigarette that bad. Dropping a cigarette on the ground, putting it out with your foot, you can tell how long that cigarette's been there. A good tracker can take a good look at that and say, yeah, that looks about 4 hours old. They're not too far ahead of us, whoever they are. You now become the hunted because of your stupidity. When it comes down to getting home, and if you're serious about this, you're going to have to figure out, I want to be off trail. You're going to have to figure out when you camp, there's no fire. You're going to figure out when you camp, you don't light a cigarette. You're going to have to consider all kinds of things to keep yourself from anybody knowing you were there. When you sleep on the leaves, you have to remember to fluff them up. You have to, that has to be the same as when you leave. If anything, take your phone, take a picture of it. And then pull up the picture before you leave and look at the picture compared to where you were and say, all right, that looks identical. Nothing's out of place. So if you think for a minute that smoking is a good thing, these are habits, and these habits will kill you. And as I've told many people, if you're going to form a habit that is beneficial to your life. Form a habit of going for exercise, of walking. Form a habit of eating blueberries instead of chips. Form these habits that are benefiting you. Don't form habits that are going to kill you. Whether it be in the long run, due to cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. Form habits that help you. And that will be your strongest prep that you could do. Costs no money. Takes a lot of determination. And it's really hard. A lot of people will swear up and down, no, cigarettes won't affect me. The amount of money you're going to save by quitting smoking will allow you to buy an $800 Cafaro backpack like I own than it is to own another pack of cigarettes. If you actually take a look at how much you spend a month, it blew my mind away how much we were spending a month here when I was smoking 7 years ago. Me and my wife both smoked. We ran the cigarette machines. We did everything. And we were the same way. It was like, oh, look at the money we're saving. It's only costing us $100 a month. Shit, before we were paying $300. Most of the time, it just sat in the ashtray and burned away. When I finally quit, I didn't notice it for 3 months, but after the 3 months, it was like, I kind of want that jacket that cost $200, and I was like, wait a minute. I have the money to buy that. And why? Because I didn't buy cigarettes. So then I got into this routine of, I'm going to reward myself. Every time I spent over $200 a month on cigarettes, I put that $200 away, and I said, okay, if I make it another month, I'm going to buy something I like. And I did. A lot of the stuff on my YouTube channel is for me buying things. A lot of people were thinking, oh God, that guy's rich. It wasn't rich. It was simply quitting smoking. I had all this extra money, and I was like, oh shit, I could buy this now. Where before, it would go on cigarettes, where you'd scrounge the house looking for butts, or you'd be like, how much money we got? Oh my God, we're down to our last 2 packs. Jesus. The addiction was real. The addiction will be more real if you got to get home and your heater on the end of your cigarette or the smell of your cigarette gives away your position. And you're not even going to realize it because of the habit that you do all the time. Oh, I'll just cover it up my hand and light it. Really? You don't think anybody's going to see what's going on when you do this? You know? Oh, I covered up. There you go. You can't see it. Especially if it's in the dead of night. You don't want to push that button. That button will kill you. Your objective is to get home. And if you got to put your back against a tree and you got to sit there in the rain and you got to sit there shivering, then so be it. You don't want to give away your position. You don't want to leave any evidence behind when you're on your way home. You don't want to make yourself a target. You decide. Really doesn't affect me if somebody shoots you and you're out there trying to get home when SHTF happens. Just another sucker where somebody's going to get free stuff out of somebody's pack. Catch you guys on the next one.